The skill of grape growing is a balance of all of the factors in a vineyard, from the vines, weather, water, and terrain. With their French traditions of winemaking, the Lescombes family and St. Clair Winery approach grape growing as an art and a science, to balance all of these elements to produce exceptional wine. The vineyard and the winery is owned and operated by the Lescombes family, 6th-generation winemakers who carry on its traditions by growing lush grape varietals, producing award-winning wines, and maintaining a state-of-the-art wine production facility. The vineyards are located in the heart of southwest New Mexico. It is an oasis of verdant varietals and abundant sunshine, growing within a high desert valley. Chosen for its microclimate, this valley has the perfect conditions for growing strong and healthy grapevines. Let us see the work that goes into growing and maintaining the vineyards. The season starts for the Lescombes family in the early months of winter. The vineyards themselves are dormant. However, it is still a crucial time of the year for the vineyards. The pruning begins the 1st of January. The pruning crews began hand pruning each vine one by one. On an average day, a worker can prune 110 vines. 1 acre contains approximately 977 vines. All of the unusable, leftover trimmings are left in the vineyard for mulching into the soil. The pruning process must be completed before bud break, which usually happens in early March. At the same time that the pruning process is continuing, we're also expanding the vineyards by planting new vines. The vines are removed from the ground in mid-January to begin grading and trimming the roots. Each day we process over 10,000 vines. The vines are then treated for cold storage and kept at 32 degrees to protect the young vines. These vines will be planted within the next few months. Our nursery size varies from year to year depending on planting needs. To expand the vineyards, we plant an average of 400,000 cuttings in late February for the next growing season. The process of planting cuttings is a science to get a 70% success rate of rooted vines. The cuttings will usually break bud in early April and must be maintained with the proper watering schedule to ensure that the cuttings will root out.
What we do here is the last checking on the vine before planting. These vines were pulled out of the nursery in February. They were stored in the cold storage. And now we are checking the roots, cutting the right size of the hole, checking the tip for everything is green on the bud, and then go to the vineyard and be planted in 1 hour probably.
At the beginning of March, all missing vines are marked and scheduled for planting. The new vines are removed from cold storage and prepared for planting. All new vines need to be planted before the end of April to avoid shock to the young vines. Much of the work in the vineyard is done by hand. Pruning is one process, the other is the training of the vines. The vines must be secured to the trellis every year, ensuring proper training of the vines. This process takes 2 months to complete. Once the vines are secured to the trellis wire, the new growth will be trained to grow up the trellis. This process goes on all growing season. There is always some type of training going on throughout the growing process. The vineyard is located in an arid desert in southwest New Mexico, which receives less than 5 inches of rainfall per year. The vineyard is irrigated with state-of-the-art micro-drip irrigation system. The vines begin receiving water and fertilizer at springtime through a computer-driven program. The soil moisture content is measured daily to ensure that water is available for the vine's needs. We also pump water from deep wells that are filtered in pH balance with fertilizer. When spring begins, the first buds emerge, and you will start seeing the greenery of spring in the vineyards. The warm spring sunshine will make the mountains and vineyards glow. The berries will continue to mature until they are ready for harvesting. The berries will begin to turn color, soften, and further develop their flavors and sugars. Once grape flavors are fully mature, acids and sugars are in balance, and it's now harvest time. Galileo said, "Wine is sunlight held together by water." The grapes in the vineyards are brought to life with the sunlight captured by the New Mexican sun and ready to be harvested. The harvesting begins in the blackness of a starry night and continues until the first rays of morning. At the vineyards, the harvesting can either be done by machine or by hand. Once harvested, the winemaking process is swiftly begun at the state-of-the-art winery.